When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
These days, everything in ATL costs more. But somehow, Verizon costs less. As low as $50 for a single line when you switch. So while coffee is definitely costing more, Verizon costs less. And dinner in Buckhead for two has gotten pricey. Verizon, less pricey. Inman Park rent, that's not coming down anytime soon. But Verizon, down. Just $50 a line. Limited edition sneakers, through the roof. Verizon prices, through the floor. That designer golden doodle, so much more. A single line on Verizon, a fair bit less. Even a good old tried and true hamburger will cost you more. But with Verizon, the same good old tried and true service now costs you less. Point is, in a world that is always costing more, you can get more for less right now at an Atlanta Verizon store. $180 BYOD and $360 local promo credits applied over 36 months. For new customers with one line and your own 4G or 5G phone on unlimited welcome plan required. Additional terms apply. Auto pay and paper-free billing required. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
This is Mistakes in the Making. Hello, my name is Aaron Muñoz, and I'm here to talk about mistakes. So this mistake was over a decade ago. I was new to Nashville, and I just moved there from Atlanta with my wife. She got into grad school at Vandy because she's smart as hell. I got a, call from my agent for this, like real quick, like turnaround. Like, you got to get this in. They've been looking for this part. 2 of The Walking Dead. So I got it in that weekend, booked it. I was going to be on set like in the next week. And I'm a big research guy. I love being prepared. And it's something that I've always had a lot of pride in, and something that I really, really kind of just delved into as soon as I got a project, as soon as I got an audition, I am finding anything and everything I can. So, sometimes that really, really helps you in situations that you don't know, just because you have a lot of data, you have a lot of information. And so I started doing my research, and, character research, what's this character going through? What's this guy going through? I'm in an apocalypse, there's zombies, really using my imagination and kind of my own work to kind of put myself in those shoes. A little embarrassing actor research is that I went to the woods. And I told my wife, I was like, I gotta go camping. So I went to the woods, and I got a steak and a can of beans and a knife, and I had a tent and a sleeping bag and stuff. And I love camping. So it's not it was super, super hard, but I also was like, I want to go remote. I want to know what it's like to be in the middle of nowhere. I want to know what it's like to have not a lot of resources at my disposal, and get myself into that imaginative place where the world has kind of gone to shit, and there's zombies eating people, and I could very well be eaten. So that's the depths of the level of research that I go to. But I also really dug into who I was going to be working with. And this is really kind of where the mistakes started to trickle into the work. So I really, really wanted to just know everything I could and be as prepared as possible. I listened to a podcast with a actor who was cast opposite me, who were supposed to be like traveling around and meeting up with Rick's group. His name is Michael Raymond James. And I've known his work for a while and had some friends who were on True Blood with him. And he's a great actor. But I listened to a podcast and he said that when he did his show Terriers, that he and the other actor, Donald Logue, would just like go home because they were the two leads, go home after shooting and just read the next script and work lines. So when I got into Atlanta, I got production to give me his number and dropped him a line. We were staying at the same hotel, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to work?" And it was great. Like we just like hung out in the balcony and went over the scene over and over and over, and felt really, really prepared, just words wise, just stepping into a set like as a guest star, or, especially when people have been established, you really got to come in and be able to throw down. So that was part of my being able to do that. But then I also researched the showrunners, a new showrunner, Glenn Mazzara. I know him from The Shield. Shield was one of my favorite shows. So the director is Clark Johnson, directed pilot of The Shield. So I was really starting to geek out. And this is where my research conflicted with my readiness. So I get on set, have done the costume fitting, really know the scene well, walk in and we're doing the shot. It's near the end of the day, so we've been waiting, around a while. And, we get to the wide shot and I am really in my head. I am absolutely not in the moment. I am not in the place of this character. I am in this place of Aaron Muñoz is freaking out because he's working with these people who he's researched to death, and on a set that he really, really has wanted to be on for a long time. At least for the first season, because this was season 2. So Walking Dead wasn't The Walking Dead before. It was still relatively kind of underground and not known as it becomes. But it was still like a really quality show, and I was a fan of the first season, and I had psyched myself out. Luckily, all we did was shoot a wide. And it was time for break, and it was a Friday, and everyone came back on Monday. So I had time to, over the weekend, to just sit down and have a cigar and to understand where I was in that moment. And knowing that I wasn't, even though I had done all this preparation, I was over prepared, and I'd psyched myself out so that I didn't have ownership of what I was doing. I didn't have ownership of me just going in, playing a character, being in a scene, and just trust that I am good enough, trust that the work I'm doing is good enough, trust that I'm supposed to be there, versus this is the first time I'm playing in the NBA and I don't know how to dribble a basketball, when everything has kind of brought me to this point. So when I went back Monday, I was ready to go, and really, really interested in how that affected my other scenes. A couple of years later, I was on set with Alan Rickman, the late great Alan Rickman, and my readiness was there. I had done my research, but I didn't go into the minutia. I didn't try to figure out every single thing, because I know that doesn't help me. And so from that mistake, I know that when I go on set, no matter if it's the biggest set in the world with the biggest movie stars ever, I feel that I can be prepared and be ready and not psych myself out because of my research. So that is my mistake. I'm glad that I learned from it. I'm sure there will be other moments that I do over prepare. But it's a good thing to remember for me, that I can just trust myself and trust that I'm ready to go. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Stogie Muñoz, because I do enjoy cigar. And www.muñoz.com. The next big thing I'm working on is I'm writing a play about Shakespeare's clown. His name was Will Kemp. And I got a grant. So I'm going over to the UK and working with the Shakespeare Institute and the RSC on digital theater. I'm trying to explode that box, kind of merging the film, TV, and live theater space. Yeah.
You've been listening to Mistakes in the Making. If you have your own mistake that you've made while in the film industry and you want to let others know so they don't make the same mistake, reach out to us at contact@bonsai.film and we'll take it from there. You can also reach out to us on social media at _Bonsai Creative on Instagram and Twitter, and you can search for us on YouTube and Facebook by searching for Bonsai Creative. You can also visit our website where we have industry insights and links to all of our podcasts and so much more at www.bonsai.film. And thank you for listening.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
These days, everything in ATL costs more. But somehow, Verizon costs less, as low as $50 for a single line when you switch. So while coffee is definitely costing more, Verizon costs less. And dinner in Buckhead for two has gotten pricey. Verizon, less pricey. Inman Park rent, that's not coming down anytime soon. But Verizon, down. Just $50 a line. Limited edition sneakers, through the roof. Verizon prices, through the floor. That designer golden doodle, so much more. A single line on Verizon, a fair bit less. Even a good old tried and true hamburger will cost you more. But with Verizon, the same good old tried and true service now costs you less. Point is, in a world that is always costing more, you can get more for less right now at an Atlanta Verizon store. $180 BYOD and $360 local promo credits applied over 36 months. For new customers with one line and your own 4G or 5G phone on unlimited welcome plan required. Additional terms apply. Auto pay and paper-free billing required. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.